Hi guys, Electric Adventures here. This is probably the first in a series of videos on the Spectravideo SVI-328 series, and then on to some of the later Spectravideo MSX models, so it'll be a number of videos. Today we start out with the base SVI-328 and run a couple of titles and demos on it. Hope you enjoy the video. Thanks.
Okay, here is the cleaned up a bit anyway, Spectravideo SVI-328 Mark II computer that I've owned since new. Now this one's been in storage a very long time and I haven't used it for quite some time. I've already tested it, it does fire up. A couple little problems with the keyboard that I can work around with for now, but I may have to do a complete disassembly to get some of the keys working. And I'm going to fire it up now. Well, I'll just give a bit of a look, show you a bit the actual machine. So it looks very similar to the later Spectravideo 7-8, except the cartridge slot is a lot smaller. Now I never really saw very many cartridges for it. There's one called Super Cross Force. I haven't been able to get a copy of it all these years and couldn't afford it back then. Now Spectravideo, I'll just joystick out. Power cord out. On this side you've got two joystick ports, standard Atari pins, on-off switch and power. And around the back we have the expansion socket, for which you can't really plug anything directly in there. You need a single slot or a multi-slot expander, as it indicates there. We have the custom taped cassette port, a RF out, and being the Mark II, it has proper composite video and audio out, which gives it a good signal, and there's nothing on the other side. So I'll set him down again, and I also have the Spectravideo data cassette SV903. Now this is the tape player that came with the unit. These ones are actually really reliable. It was the later ones, they brought out an almost identical looking unit, but with a plug compatible with the MSX machines, which was a DIN plug, and they were terribly unreliable. They must have built those using, very average heads. Here's some original Spectravideo software. It's Armored Assault and Spectron and Pixiedust, which is by Electric Adventures. So multiple copies there, and a few other odd tapes here. Now we'll fire it up. I'll just set the camera in a good position. Plug our power back in. Now obviously direct video on a screen, so we're going to get a bit of camera roll. I hope you can read it. So you've got Spectravideo Basic version 1.1, 29.119 bytes free. Now the 328 actually has 64 K of RAM and also an additional 16 K of RAM for the video processor. So Spectravideos have a Z80 as their main processor, and a Texas Instruments graphics processor with its own separate memory, which makes them reasonably powerful, the only limitation being the speed of the Z80 at 3.7 and the speed of transferring information to the graphics memory to get the graphics card to do something. Now you have a line of function keys on the keyboard, and pressing shift has another set of short commands you can use. Now I'm not going to type anything too extraneous, but I'm going to put a tape in. We'll start with Spectron, which was one of the very first games to come out with the Spectravideo. The actual launch titles of the Spectravideo were actually quite good quality. Sorry, C is one of those keys that's having some difficulties. Now, I pressed play on the tape recorder first then. If I hadn't have, it would have asked me to press play on tape. So we'll just wait a second and it'll come up and find the header. Okay, and it automatically stopped the tape for us as well. So if I list that, that is just a basic program that actually loads the next stage. If I had have gone run, a different command run, and specified cassette, it would have run this automatically. So I'll run this now. And it starts the tape player up again. And in a second, when it finds the data on the tape, we'll start on seeing some information. Just so you can see something's happening. And it doesn't take too long to load. It basically has to fill up the screen and it'll fill it up a second time and then we'll be there. Now this first game, Spectron, is a little bit of a mix between Space Invaders, Galaxian, and a couple of other, shoot 'em ups along those lines where you've got a ship down the bottom. You can move left and right, a little bit up and down, and you've got to stop the aliens coming down and planting bombs on the Earth. This gives it a variety. It's quite colourful. It's got a lot of sound and music. These first couple of games for the Spectravideo were very impressive, same as the first cartridge, which was Super Cross Force. The later Spectravideo titles were actually a lot less better quality than these initial ones. But they're definitely very colourful. Okay, we're almost there. We've done 2 screens now. Now, interesting enough, the Spectravideo has a very similar skill selection screen as the Coleco games. So you've got a one-shot chip, and you can use the cursor keys and the space bar as a joystick, and that's supported. That's actually listed as joystick 0, so you can detect it separately, but it also repeats on joystick 1 as well. Now in this first level, the aliens don't seem to try an attempt to land, but they are quite vicious in their rate of fire. You can move up and down as well, see. And the collision detection can be a little dodgy. As you just noticed, my bullets just went straight through one there. Next level now, and so my shield's been restored. Now they'll actually, if I let them get down low enough, they'll actually come down and invade, as this one's demonstrating. There you come. You can actually shoot him there. If I ignore him and let him go down, right, see how he's planted a bomb down the bottom there. And I think if you get enough of those down there, you actually lose the game as well. Now there is the bonus ship that goes along the top. But it's pretty hard to hit. They stay there between levels. Actually, I'm going to let these go down because I want to see what happens. So the next one's a red. There we go, there's Spectron. Now load the next launch game, Armoured Assault. Okay, so the next game's Armoured Assault. Now this is a two-player game, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to demonstrate. Now, demonstrating the shift keys, so I can do that to type C load with no command. It tells me to just play on tape. So the Spectravideo Extended Basic is very, very close to MSX Basic. So it was the first version that was then further ratified, a couple of little changes made before the MSX standard was laid down. Okay, the load's finished. Now, as I mentioned, this is a 2-player game, so a little hard to play it by yourself. But remember, when we got, myself and a friend had bought one of these machines, and we got the 318 home. Well, I got my 318 home. We started playing, and he loved this game so much. My friend, who was also the Atari 2600 owner, went out and bought one himself. Alright, so there's 8 different games which are basically different maps, but they're all 2 players. So you've each got a home base. Tank on the left, and you can shoot into a base. I'm shooting into my own base here. Notice up the top the ammunition's going down. You go through an ammunition station and it goes up, and the more I move, the more fuel goes down, and go through one of those and it fixes it. And these are bridges across the water. And every time I hit the opposition there, he lost part of his health for every second hit. We do seem to have lost a bit of colour here at the moment. And we can also shoot into his base. Which if you let somebody do it, you win the game immediately, so you need to protect your own base. So there we go, there's another Spectravideo game. Next I'll do a demonstration of one of my own games, which is my best selling one, called Pixiedust. Okay, after some tape drive maintenance and realising that I'm a fool and have a AV conversion kit, thus being able to use a LCD instead of a TV, we'll get rid of our horrible rolling black picture. Let's give this a go. So here we go with the Spectravideo SVI-328. This also demonstrates the other way of loading stuff from a tape and automatically playing it. So unlike some of the commercial games, my games actually have the instructions on the tape of how to load it. So this finds the basic loader, which is only very short, and then continues on loading the machine code portion. And as mentioned, the game's only 12K, so it won't take very long to load. Right, there we go. Here is Pixiedust. So one of my later titles, written in 1987. I'm going to have a go using the joystick. coming up to near the end of the stage. We've got the mothership thing that's got a few bullets towards you. And there we go, that's the first level of Pixiedust.